Welcome back to Nine's Sunday Footy. There is a smell of desperation in the air at Bankwest Stadium. Can the Tigers stay in the finals race, or can the Bulldogs escape that wooden spoon spot? It is time to find out, and it is a very good afternoon, Matthew Thompson.
Good afternoon to you, James. Yes, there is a sense of desperation about the Tigers. Indeed, they need that desperation to get on some sort of a run, you fancy, because it's been a forgettable last 3 weeks, and they'd be wanting to forget their efforts against the Knights last weekend. 44-4 was the score there, and the Tigers came out on the wrong side of that. They haven't figured in the final since 2011. It's quite a remarkable statistic when you consider the calibre of teams they've had, and this one, in fact, has a pretty impressive attacking record, which we'll let you know about in 1 sec, because the Bulldogs are out there, and while they haven't had much to show in terms of wins in recent times, they have tested some teams. They got within a couple of points of the Eels in a converted try in matches against the Knights and also the Dragons. Peter Sterling, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Matt. And Steve Georgalis showing he's not mucking around. One of their highest profile players, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, not included in the top 17. Remus Smith comes in on that right flank. As we see one of the main men for the Tigers once again, Benji Marshall. Another configuration with young Jacob Little coming in. Skipper Moses Mbai was in the 9 jersey last week, so the changes continue, Matt.
I'm glad you mentioned Jacob Little. Plays just his 38th NRL game this afternoon, having debuted as a teenager back in 2016, and it was almost 12 months ago to the day that he suffered his most recent ACL tear. It's great to see him back, 23 years of age, young Jacob Little. And Brad Fittler, while they're missing Harry Grant, they get a homegrown youngster in Little back in the number 9. We're underway. It's Kerrod Holland kicking off for the Bulldogs. And the Tigers, they need to show something. They are close enough to making finals football if they're good enough. Aloye with the first try, now Eisenhuth with the second. Strong defence led by Napa in combination with Lafayette. And Fatala Mariner, the 12, a willing player in the pack for Canterbury.
There's Jacob Little's first run, a lot like Harry Grant. The best part of his game is just when he gets up and runs, so hopefully Adam doing a few of the halves might be able to support him.
He'd be nervous. You can see that left knee. It's got a heavy brace on it. He's been plagued by injuries, this young man, throughout his still emerging career. Let's hope he gets on a run. Marshall with the first kick. Nick Beanie's in the full-back position. That kick just got away from him slightly. And he's tackled by Garner just out from his own goal line.
He's been safe, Nick Meaney. That was a late adjustment. To say the ball did get away, and it could have been all sorts of problems, but he's been elusive at the back. Played a fair bit of wing for the Dogs, but I think he's better suited out the back as Thompson takes it outside his own 20.
They play left to forward, who turns Fatala Mariner back on the inside. Sione Katoa is wearing the 9. And it goes to Jack Cogger, who's come in to replace Lachlan Lewis on the back of a couple of weeks suspension for Lachlan, and that is not the start that Tommy Talau was looking for. He scored his first NRL try when the teams met back in round 7, but that is not ideal.
Well, he had a lot going on in his mind. He could see the Dogs coming forward. He tried to grab with his left and just made an absolute meal of it. But there was a lot going on in his mind. And the last thing was about just picking the ball up.
The Dogs might have been coming forward, Freddie, but the closest one was still 40 metres away. He just didn't get his body in the right position, did he?
Foran fires the pass over to Kerrod Holland. An early test of the Tigers' defence, which has been the main issue for them over the last month. He's off for Hickey Ogden. Big lump of a front rower, driven into the ground, 7 out from the line. Forward for Fatala Mariner. He juggled it, but regained it. Garner, the defender. They've struggled to score points, the Bulldogs. They try and go the short way home through Luke Thompson, who's stopped on the line by Packer. He goes to Foran, and then Cogger. They got some numbers here. Oh, the pass from Meaney didn't hit his mark. It went over Remus Smith's head and over the sideline, so the Tigers have passed their first test. I mentioned that attack for the West Tigers, Brad. They've got the 5th best attacking record in the competition, but this is the best Tigers attacking team at this stage of the season they've ever had, including the 2005 team. So they can ever. So if they can compete, they can compete with ball in hand against the best teams in the comp. They've just got to find a bit of starch in defence.
I've got to say, and if Canterbury had to put a decent pass on the back end of that play, they were left short, the Tigers. Tommy Talau had come in. He wasn't that convincing with his tackle, but they got away with it that time.
285 points after 13 rounds, this Tigers team. Paul Gallen sideline. Hi, Gal.
Hey guys, yeah, good defence there from Tommy Talau, I thought, after his poor error to start with. But conditions down here are really good. It's dry, a little bit of a breeze, not really suiting anyone. It says it's 18 degrees, but I've got to say it's a little bit cooler in the shade, and the shade covers the whole field. So pretty good conditions to play footy in today.
Thanks, Gal. It's been quite the balmy weekend. There's Adam Dewey, who's tackled on the Bulldogs' 40-metre line. Marshall, he had to duck in as Napa had his sight set on him. Benji sends one up high for Meaney. He takes it well, but the pressure from Nopaluma. And then the tackle. 4 in the dummy half. Sends Montoya back. A change for Montoya out on the left wing. And Remus Smith out on the right wing with Dallin dropped. There's a set restart in favour of Canterbury. And there's some charge by Ogden. And now the ever-reliable Josh Jackson plays his 69th consecutive match for the Bulldogs. Has never missed an NRL game because of injury in his career. 195th game for Josh this afternoon. What a warrior he's been. And Ogden with another powerful run.
That's incredible, Jackson, the way he plays. He's missed 7 all up, 6 through State of Origin representation and 1 suspended. He plays as physically as anybody in the NRL. Last tackle now against the Dogs, looking for a good attacking kick to finish the set.
Cogger puts it up for Smith, who can leap. He had the running jump on that, and it was there for him, but he couldn't control it. Lovely kick by Cogger, and a powerful set by the Bulldogs' big men there. The Tigers are on warning. Canterbury are running with real purpose here. Here's the kick, and here's Remus Smith, and here's a break for the Tigers upfield.
Nopaluma is having an unbelievable season and pretty much just characterised by that run.
And now Little scurries up to within 22 metres of Canterbury's line now. Napa made the tackle. Brooks, difficult pass. Dewey did well to catch it. And then nearly ducked his head through the line there. Benji in the dummy half. Away to Luke Brooks. 7 out. Tackle again by Napa. Little finds Marshall. He sweeps it out to Luciano Leilua. Oh, that was a bad missed tackle. Kerrod Holland has been shoved off, and Moses Mbai has gone over untouched.
Well, it's set up by the Norfoluna run from the 20-metre restart. He found his way 40 or 50 metres. Just have a look at this for an effort on the Isuzu MUX replay. Bouncing out of tacklers. He's gone there, but he somehow gets the fend into Catal, continues on. And from this play here, they were always short, the Bulldogs. That's why they rushed up. Cogger raced up, so did Holland. And in the end, the Tigers were too good with the football.
Well, they all raced up and they all wanted to slide. Luciano Leilua knew that. So he come off the left foot. 3 Canterbury jerseys pretty much ran past him. And then once he ducked back on the inside, the defence had all gone past Moses Mbai, and he ended up coming up with the easy stroll to the try line.
Yes, I pinpointed Karen Holland there. Jack Cogger had a shot on Leilua too. They both came up empty, and there's an early try for the West Tigers.
When you come up so quickly, it throws your balance out. So if you're up against a big man, you kind of easy prey, and Leilua is so strong upper body, the big fend into the chest. They just never got numbers there and never recovered.
Well, he gives them some strike on that left edge, Luciano Leilua, who scored 4 tries in his last 4 games himself against the Bulldogs, and lays one on there for Moses Mbai, who of course was a Bulldog himself for many years. Lovely kick too by the skipper at 6-0.
You got plenty of time, mate. Just wait. Got to wait for that. Time you're on.
Tigers go down the Bulldogs' end and take advantage with the first chance they've got. Here goes Josh Aloier. You mentioned Nofaluma, Pete. He's having some season. 11 tries thrown in there as well. He's up there amongst the leading try scorers in the competition.
He's not one of those big wingers that bring the ball out just through physical size. He's just, well, we heard energy spoken about so much before kickoff.
Good
He's full of that. Little, straight through the middle.
Well, Napa got him with an ankle tap. Little plays it over the halfway. Now Marshall, he spins it out to Joey Leilua. And if there was ever a man that owed the Tigers something, you'd have to say it'd be Joey. Back from that lengthy suspension last week in the heavy defeat to Newcastle. And now Luciano on the left side. Put down on the 20. They duck down a short side here. Here's Talau. He's got nowhere to go.
Tommy Talau's an ex-Bulldog. Played all his junior football, all his Harold Matthews and SG ball with the Bulldogs. Pretty sure he come over this year to the Tigers.
He was born a Bulldog, Freddie. His dad, Willie Talau, played many games for the club.
It was a pretty tame last tackle. Even going down that short side, there was, the defence actually had more bodies over that side than the attacking team. The Dogs now bring it out.
And Luke Thompson. Sione Katoa, he'll kick on tackle 4, away from Adam Dewey. And he's got to shepherd the ball back to near his own goal line, and he runs back to the 20 where Jack Cogger is waiting for him, along with the kicker Katoa and Josh Jackson.
Well, you just feel as though Jack Cogger's going to be terrorised by Luciano Leilua. He's going to head there all afternoon.
He'd have been expecting it. Countering it's a different proposition. He looks fit too, doesn't he, Luciano?
Well, players like him are a nightmare. Not only they're big and strong, they sidestep, they pass, they've got all the skills, they play a bit like a 5'8" in a big man's body. Be a nightmare to look after all afternoon.
Dewey for Benji. Couple of bounces and picked up there by Meany, and the veteran Benji gets through to make the tackle between Benji and Kieran Foran. Two greats of New Zealand Rugby League, gentlemen. 526 NRL games, 53 test matches and 358 try assists into illustrious careers. And they're up against each other this afternoon.
Would have played plenty of test matches together as well. Know a lot about each other.
Well, last year they partnered each other for the New Zealand Test team until Kieran got hurt. So it just demonstrates while they're in the twilight of their career, they've got much to offer. Cogger with another kick towards Remus Smith. Dewey's getting across and he gets aerial and takes the catch. And Jackson whacks him with a good tackle as he hit the ground. Nowhere for Tommy Talau to go. Moses Mbai. I'm sure he's pleased to be back out in the centres as opposed to in the middle. Well, what's happened here? Eisenhuth has galloped into a gigantic hole.
Katoa was called offside by referee Chechen.
Now Mbai. And here's Brooks with his first kick of the day. It's high, shallow. Montoya made ground to the ball and took it nicely.
Well, I've got to say the last 3 sets endings have been pretty ordinary. Put no real pressure on the Bulldogs. Just basically handed one over from a run down the short side and then 2 ineffective kicks. And Nick Mooney up from fullback on the 3rd tackle to help out.
Foreign, Lehman feed Tyler Mariner. Good, strong runner.
Yeah, you heard Kieran Foran there saying go through him. Definitely one of their plans would be to make Benji Marshall make as many tackles as possible. He just made 2 in a row.
Benji gets a bit of revenge with the tackle there. Oh, there's a good one. Montoya, he took the catch at one end and then rattled at him do his ribs up the other. Now Foran's in to dish up some punishment. Bang, he did well to hang on to the ball there. Well, they are physical, this Canterbury team, and if they weren't, they'd be the only Canterbury team that hasn't been ever. Dylan Napa then with borderline shoulder charge. Play on, says the ref. The big boys going at it. And Brooks, he'll find some space with that kick back across them. Meaney attacks the ball. Benji's down there and makes the tackle.
I think the fact that both sides aren't having incredible luck with their last play is really going to make this incredibly competitive this afternoon.
Thompson gets nabbed with a good tackle by Jacob Little, running from marker, but set restart. And Cogger through the middle. He's got support. He goes to Meaney. He's going to score under the sticks.
Well, don't worry about Cogger being terrorised on the far side. He's just terrorised the West Tigers defence all on his own. Very direct run, a little bit of footwork to get him through, and Nick Meaney on the Isuzu MUX replay. Supports on the inside. Russell Packer too slow on the inside. He's a bit of fatigue there, and the young halfback, he just took advantage of some tired forwards going.
Boys, I was literally thinking it just before Cogger went through. There's plenty of boys down here blowing. There hasn't been a lot of stoppages at all in the first 15 minutes. And a 6 to go call, and Cogger took full advantage of it, went straight through the middle, and as all fullbacks do, Meaney supporting up the middle for a try. They didn't start too well, the Dogs. I thought the Tigers started better, but they've worked their way back into it. It'll be 6-all in a moment.
Well, he sized up Matt Eisenhuth and come off the right foot. Packer was disappointing for a marker, but Jacob Little also had an opportunity to make a tackle and slid off. And then when Meaney started to loom, you could see the smile on Cogger's face when he realised who it was. He saw the jersey and then saw the face. And as soon as he got the ball to Meaney, it was always going to be a 4-pointer. But Little's effort was, make sure he had the speed to make up the distance. And Packer's effort from marker, I've got to say, wasn't fantastic.
And Karen Holland will draw us together at 6 points apiece. Good hit back by the Bulldogs.
Time you run, fellas. Stay
Nick
behind.
Meaney scores a first try for Canterbury. He's a natural fullback. He was pushed back there, I think, a couple of weeks back. And that's an indication of what he can do. He's a real speed machine. And in support, he's a handful for opposition defences. Remus Smith now. Jackson ducked into the ground. Luke Brooks with the tackle. You just pointed out the defence there, Brad. Is that the sort of I don't know, is it a lack of resolve that Michael Maguire's been trying to knock out of this Tigers team? Is that an example of what you just pointed out there?
Yeah, whatever they did at train this week, whether it was trying to get smiles back on the faces, they needed a little bit more grit from those three players.
Another test for Dewey.
You notice the difference between the teams at the very top compared to the teams sitting lower is just getting in position earlier. Whether it's defence or attack, just being in position earlier, getting back onside quicker, getting back behind kicks quicker. And that time there was a 6 to go call and they couldn't get back behind the line quick enough. And Cogger took advantage.
Jacob Little. And now Eisenhuth. Off a very flat pass out of dummy half. Play 5. Left-footed kick from Brooks. Aimed towards Meany. He takes it just outside his 10. Good kick chase there for the Tigers and a good solid tackle as well by Aloye. So the Bulldogs, they're gritty as always. They've lost their last 4 games here at Bankwest Stadium, interestingly. The Tigers with a 3-10 record here, or 3 from 10 record. Just given it's one of their home grounds isn't ideal for them. Luke Thompson now.
Yeah, he does plenty of work. Just like to see a pass in his game at some stage. He's forward down the short earth side. Adam Dewey has had plenty of these this afternoon already, and he's taken them all comfortably.
He sidesteps for Tyler Mariner, and then Ogden comes sprinting at you. That'd be awful.
That'd be thankless, wouldn't it? Here's Tommy Talau.
Well, he's the guy I'd be targeting, actually, if I was the Tigers. He's looked a little bit tired out there, Ogden. After some work early.
Whoa.
Up, fellas, let's go.
Late call.
Yeah, he's not used to starting, Sterlo. I think he's had a big start of the game. He's been an absolute handful to tackle and chase the kick then and brought the fullback down, but he's got his hands on his knees at the moment. He could be needing a rest.
Hayden Tolman on the bench today. And Suaso Sue, the other middleman there. Here's Little, here's Marshall, and here's Dewey. Tim Laffey helping to make the tackle there. Came from the Dragons back to the club where he started his career mid-season. Long pass now for Brooks. He stepped inside of Ogden, bit of jumper grabbing there. Now Little. Runs into Fatala Mariner in centre field. They go to Marshall this time. Ball goes to Dewey. Long pass. Nofaluma. He's looking for his 12th of the season. He'll give the ball away to Garner. And the Tigers have cut Canterbury open.
Beautiful pass, Adam Dewey. Really selected pass to hit his winger, who I thought might just go for the corner to try and score, but he stepped on 3 occasions on the Isuzu MUX replay. That's the ball. Cover defence comes across 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, and support on the inside in Garner.
Once you step once, you know you're going to have to come up with 3, 4 or 5. The jerseys kept turning up. There he goes, but gets inside forward, gets inside Katoa, gets dragged down by Laffey. But it was Garner actually who set the set up. When they took the tap on the 40-metre line on the left-hand side, they ended up getting tackled on the right-hand side behind the 40-metre line. It was a Luke Garner that got him going forward again, and 2 tackles later he's scoring the try. Gal, what'd you make of that, mate?
Yeah, I agree with Sterlo. What a beautiful pass from Adam Dewey. And Nofaluma, once again, he's been one of the Tigers' best so far today. As you said, Freddie, right foot step, and Garner back it up and inside did really well to score that try. I'll tell you what, boys, the big boys in the middle of the field here are really tight. That was the first penalty after 20 minutes, so I'd say both sides looking for their bench pretty soon.
Hey, Gal, just on Ogden, how hard is it or how different if you're used to starting off the bench to taking part in the first 20 minutes? How different would that be for him?
It is different. Look, you come off the bench, you're there for impact. You're there to bring energy when you come on the field, but generally the game is slowing down a little bit. When you start, the game is a little bit faster. You throw on top of that, there's been a couple of 6 to goes, and as I said, only one penalty in the first 20 minutes with not a lot of stoppages. It makes it very hard.
And there he is, off for a breather. For Hickey Ogden, good kick by Tigers ahead.
Time on. Stand behind.
Tigers 12, Bulldogs 6. Sunday footy from Bankwest Stadium. Glorious Sydney afternoon, and here is one heck of a charge back.
Have you ever done that run, Sterlo?
No, I've given it to plenty of blokes to do it. That was Alloy, eh?
Yeah.
He does it. He does it regularly every week.
That's not something you want to get used to.
Packing out, met by Jackson and Jack Cogger. Benji, he kicks him right on the 40. Unless he, this bounces towards the 20. Oh, I don't think he's got it, has he?
Oh,
The touch, he says he has.
Yeah. He changed his thinking here too. He saw that he was going to kick down the right-hand side, but he saw that the fullback had reacted to that. So he's looked the other side. He's kicked it perfectly inside his own 40, and then he gets the great bounce as well.
Wow. He knows his angles, Benji. That was supreme. Now Dewey for Marshall delivers the pass. Stand and applause. Benji Marshall with the 40-20, and with something special to put on another try.
Well, it doesn't get much better, does it? You set it up with the perfect 40-20 kick. Bends himself around. He gets the good bounce, but...
Well, he got the members bounce. He got the members bounce. You don't get a better bounce than that. But this pass was incredible. Have a look at that, how slick. Leilua does a brilliant job as well, just to tip it on. He barely had fingerprints on it. But have a look at this pass. Dewey, Marshall, Laffey comes in. Leilua gets the ripper, and Isuzu, MUX replay. Nofaluma scores another try.
That was sweet. And they've gone bang, bang.
Paul Gallen, that must have looked nice down there.
Yeah, it certainly did. Benji Marshall, what a 40-20. And I'll tell you what, after last week, boys, he probably feels he owes the Tigers a little bit. A poor game defensively, but steps up there, the 40-20, a beautiful pass to Leilua. Leilua did the rest, beautiful hands on Nofaluma for a try. They're right on top now, the Tigers.
It's amazing what you were saying before, Matt, is how good their attack is. And they scored more points than them when they won the grand final in 2005. Most teams haven't got that many points of interest across the field. I think the big addition is Luciano Leilua, without a doubt. And then by 12 cleared. It's a fizzle.
Time your run, thanks, fellas.
Well, that was scintillating from Benji Marshall. It is such a pleasure to watch him play, even at this stage of his career. Notwithstanding the fact he's been dropped this season, of course, spent 3 weeks out of the team, but he is still absolutely awesome with all the skills.
Well, I've got to include Joey Leilua on that as well. Sometimes you don't quite know what you're going to expect from the centre, but at his best, like that catch and pass there in the one movement, that's an easy pass to throw forward. And he put it on the chest of Nofoaluma as Garner straightens up. Really on a roll now, the Tigers.
Eisenhuth. Tackled by Napa and Luke Thompson. This is tackle 5. The old master sends it up towards Montoya's wing, and Nofoaluma's down there to make the tackle. Josh Reynolds back on the bench too for the Tigers this afternoon. He said pre-game that he'll come out and fill in for Jacob Little, and as Benji aims up with a big shot.
Yeah, it's interesting that Elijah Taylor's also on the bench, who's played plenty of hooker. So I suppose Josh also covers the halves. Bit of a safety.
Now Smith, oh, that was a pressure offload.
It was like a pinball machine.
Yeah,
What happened there?
Katoa straight into Eisenhuth. And the Dogs are putting themselves under more pressure here.
It's middle.
Yeah, he just dropped off Katoa. Wasn't expecting the pass and didn't catch it, but the tackle hadn't been completed, so you've always got to be aware of it might be coming your way.
Get another one here, get another one here, another one here.
Yeah, that's where communication from your teammates, and your whole focus should be on the ball. Let your teammates worry about the next play.
Marshall away for Brooks. He's wearing the 6 as opposed to the 7. He's been chopping and changing his halves all season, Michael Maguire. A bit strange to see Luke Brooks wearing 6 and Benji in the 7. But it's effective as Brooks links up with Leilua again. He's desperate to play this fast. 6 again. An inside pass now to Aloye, who's trying to muscle his way there. Plenty of Bulldogs shove him back. Little, and a ball for Brooks, and now Dewey, right foot step. And he's up into Tolman, who's out there in 15. Little, the 16, Sam McIntyre, has just come on for Russell Packer. He's 3 metres out from the line. This will take a real effort for Canterbury to stop the Tigers here, you fancy. Brooks tries to duck through but can't. Marshall, McIntyre. It's good defence so far from the Bulldogs, but there's plenty of Tigers out on this right-hand side. Marshall gets a rebound with the kick. It is all running the Tigers' way.
Well, you make your own luck in this game, and the Tigers have been really positive with the football, and yes, they get a rebound straight into the path of Garner to score his second. Suzu MUX replay, and sometimes it just bounces your way, but when it does bounce, you've got to have a body nearby to take advantage of it, and Garner was the man.
Well, Kieran Foran tried to actually get out of the road. He was just pretending he wasn't. No, he went for a block. It was off his nose. I thought it was off his hand. And Benji Marshall got the members kick before, and Luke Garner got the members bounce then.
Might have bow legs, Kieran Foran.
Paul Gallen.
Yeah, when you're hot, and Benji's on today, that's for sure. He's on fire, but tough one there for Kieran Foran. It's one of those ones you don't quite know whether to leave or try and trap it and scrap it, as they say. Unfortunately, went through his legs and bounced up perfectly for Garner to get his second try of the afternoon.
It was interesting they took the ball to the middle of the field for the last tackle. Normally you like to take it one way or the other so you can spread the distance between the wingers and the centres for your chasers to get down there. But it was a nice little set play with the front rowers going forward and then passing backwards to Benji.
The Tigers, they're on a real attacking roll here, and Moses Mbai knocks it over.
Tackle under the post there, mate. We got to try out of it 2 tackles later. You are on report. You're leading with the head, mate.
Now, Dylan Napa has just been placed on report here as we're waiting for a resumption in play. For leading with the head. Hoof now.
We're trying to find the tackle, but he's been in trouble for that before, Dylan Napa.
Well, I think there's a couple of incidents, actually. It's been picked up by the bunker and sent out to Matt Checken on the field. So it's not just an isolated incident so far in the game. We're trying to find a couple of them for you now as Marshall.
Well, he went very close to the shoulder charge earlier, as you mentioned, Matt.
Yep. Here's Joey Leilua.
I'm wondering with the problem with that, though, the Tigers don't get to make the interchange. When someone goes on a report, it allows you to make an interchange for free. So they most really missed that opportunity.
Remus Smith, oh, he could have linked up with Holland. Didn't give the pass. And now Kieran Holland is pretty much a sitting duck for the Tigers defence there. Tackled on his own 30-metre line. Now Nick Meaney picks up 10 metres. Stopped by Eisenhuth. Along with Sam McIntyre, one of 5 Tigers to have made his debut in season 2020. They've used 30 players after 13 rounds of football. The Tigers haven't had all that much consistency in their lineup, which has been well documented. Foran. Good pass on, and the ball's gone behind Montoya, and Nofalu's going to get it back.
I'm sure they got a touch off Leilua.
It was touched by Leilua for sure.
Adam Dewey. Now Benji is limping in back play.
His right ankle.
He was tackled after he put the most recent Tigers long kick in. Stayed down on the ground for a while. I reckon he's going to try and run this off. It takes a bit longer to do when you get into your mid-30s, you see. I might have to send some Voltaren out for him.
And a nice bath. And
all of a sudden, Josh Reynolds got very excited.
Everyone loves wearing number 7, Pete. I only ever got to wear it once, and I asked for it.
Oh, Mbai's got it. He stayed in. The kick stayed in too.
Really?
We need to have another look at this.
There was a bit of a worry that he had a free catch and there were some support players around him. Montoya now. Let's see if he is able to keep.
With the box on the wrong side.
In front of me, you and
Boy, they needed this, the Dogs. It's been a long time since they've spent any time down the other end of the field, and they are desperate for points before the half-time break. 22-6, the scoreline got away from them quickly. They need to start reeling it back.
Number 23 out there, Matt Dury. His first NRL appearance. Australian schoolboy back in 2018. Cabramatta Jr. Lovely play that. Meaney off an inside pass. That was slick stuff. Nice by Canterbury.
Well read by Brooks. That was a try saver.
Katoa. He links up with Foran. There's Benji. Good tackle on his old mate. Now Luke Thompson out in front of Cogger. And takes on Luciano Leilua and loses that battle comprehensively. 4 tackles gone. He took Kieran Foran and Tolman. He pushed it back for Foran. Dury now. Foran will go down the short side. A cutout pass. Montoya dives over unmarked.
Well, it's always a very good play to go down the short side when you see the opposition centre at marker. And Leilua, involved in the previous play, is at marker so that their configuration on that side has to be different. And the Isuzu MUX replay, Kieran Foran recognises that and throws the perfect pass to his winger.
He somehow found enough time there, Pete, to put in a sneaky little dummy of a kick. The pass found the winger, Montoya. He just had too much space. Nofaluma gave him too much room. But the whole set of 6, the Dogs threw something at him every tackle. Most of the times you see set up for play, which allows the defence to get their formation. A couple of really nice try saves over on the left-hand side with Leilua and Brooks coming up with important tackles. And ended up being a bit of brilliance by Foran and a nice pass to Montoya. But they threw a lot at the Tigers in that set of 6.
And they really needed that, and they'd love to see it converted from the sideline to get them to within 10. Feel much better about themselves going into the shed trailing by that smaller margin. Kieran Holland takes over the responsibility.
To get it back inside 2 converted tries near half-time. It's out to the left.
Stay behind, thanks.
Important try, that one for the Bulldogs. They were just losing touch of the scoreboard. But some nice play, and once again, the main conductor, Kieran Foran. Oh, there's a crunching tackle. Josh Alloy, he loves the physical stuff, and he was at the forefront of that. Remus Smith now. And the skipper, Josh Jackson. On the 30. Napa playing out for Foran. He's gone through a huge hole. And Montoya's there. Leilua in support. Back on the inside. The first gamer, Matt Dury, has scored for Canterbury. 2 tries in 2 minutes.
Well, he's wound the clock back, Kieran Foran. Showed good speed to get outside the defender and slice through, and then a select pass on the inside. And didn't Dury show some fleet of foot? Isuzu MUX replay throws the dummy. The man on the inside, Leilua, just couldn't foot it with Foran. And then he did well, and the referee was perfectly positioned to rule that that pass was backwards. And he's just set up a try with a pass from dummy half. And moments later, he sets up another try after creating the space himself right in front of you, Paul Gallen.
Absolutely beautiful play from Kieran Foran. The Dogs, it's been the ball movement. I agree with Freddie. They've been moving the ball, which is really hurting the Tigers. The Tigers had just missed 4 tackles in the first 35 minutes of this game before the previous try. And Joey Leilua there and got a bit lazy there, and Kieran Foran beating for speed on the outside. And good backing up from the guy on debut, Matt Dury. Well done to the young fella. He had a touch early on, he looked impressive. Hopefully he can keep playing that well the rest of the day.
Well, that's some revival for Canterbury, Pete. They looked like they were about to get the standing 8 count.
Well, with 10 minutes to go, made the point that they needed to get down the other end of the field and turn that into points, because the scoreline had got away from them, and you don't want that scoreboard pressure to confront you in that second 40. Well, they go in now. They might be behind, but they've actually got some momentum into the break.
He sneaks it through. 22-16 now. A reminder, you can use the NRL Ladder Predictor to find out who makes it and who misses out in the 2020 finals race. Whatever you do, don't have the West Tigers in ninth. Register for free. NRL.com/Ladder Predictor. I said at the start, Pete, they haven't made the finals since 2011, this West Tigers team. It's just it defies belief when you consider the calibre of player they've had here. I know there's been some positions where they might have lacked a bit of depth at times, but they've had superstars in this team, and they just haven't been able to get there.
Well, I heard you mention before kickoff that if they're good enough, they're close enough, and that's been the case on a number of occasions. I remember going to Leichhardt Oval, and if they won that game, they played finals football and they got lapped.
Yeah.
So they seem to be around that area that just can't break into that top 8. And again, this season, they're going to have to really come up with some performances in the next 6 weeks and win today if they're going to turn that around.
And is it a fair comment that maybe what's happened here in the last 5 minutes is one of the reasons it's pulled the Tigers back in recent years?
Well, their coach will be gutted as to how this has turned around. 10 quick points. Last tackle now. Cogger finds space between fullback and winger. Dewey slips over, so there's another 10 metres in the chase. But there's only half a minute to go, so it'll be 22-16 at half-time. The Tigers still lead. But
quite amazingly, I think they're the team that will be looking forward to half-time the most. There's David Nothaluma.
hang on.
Carry and has the ball ripped out. Well, it's not over yet. They might get one more play if Katoa can get rid of these tacklers and play the ball. And he does it. The clock wins.
Wow.
No, half-time, he tells me in my ear.
So the Bulldogs have marched back after being down 22-4. We've got a ball game now. Tigers 22, Canterbury 16. Sunday footy from Bank West. The Tigers, they were dominant for the first half an hour of the game, but the Bulldogs, as they invariably always do, showed some fight in the back part of the first half, and it's 22-16 and it is game on. Regardless, that magnificent try set up by Benji Marshall will be on the highlights reels of this game for the rest of the year. It might be his last year, Benji, but gee, he can still turn it on. He's got the full catalogue of skills on show today. And Jacob Little played the full 40 minutes in his return from an ACL injury. His first game in 12 months. He's done some nice things for the Tigers. Attack's not the problem. It's defence, and Canterbury will be buoyed, having scored a couple of tries in the shadows of half-time. They've got a converted try margin as Aidan Tolman starts the second half with a run back into Sam McIntyre. Here's Montoya now. Playing at centre field. And Katoa to Matt Dury. A try scorer in his first NRL match. He enjoyed it too. He's foreign.
Oh, gee.
They had the numbers.
Oh, if he throws the cutout, if he could have got it to Montoya, he was away.
And they keep going down that same corridor. Marshall with consecutive tackles. That one on Laffey. Here's Cogger. Dewey with the catch. He's got a wall of Bulldogs in front of him. He wants to link up here, and he does that. Brooks cuts back in, stepped a couple, and Napa grabs him.
That's good work by the Tigers. Spoke about that in the first half, about being in position. Already they've made 20 metres now from where he made contact initially, Dewey. Getting back behind the ball early.
That's Tommy Talau playing it. Aloye from Marshall. And Garner will play it. Scored a try in the first half. Here's Little now. Stopped by Tolman. 5 and last. Marshall with a kick across the body. A comfortable take for Nick Meaney, but it's a good kick chase by the Tigers. So 22-16, we've hypothesised that the Tigers would have to win 5 of their last 7 to make the 8. And when you look at the list of games to come, this is one they absolutely have to win.
Especially since you have hypothesised it.
Here's a mistake.
Yeah, first error of the second half. From Kerrod Holland. And as is so often the case, first points in the second 40, vital. The Bulldogs can get that try, then the momentum would continue that they built up before the break. If the Tigers can get the try, then they get some breathing space.
It looked like he tried to pass that.
Let's go, fellas. We're on the clock. Don't forget. Let's go.
Next 3 games for the West Tigers: Roosters, Panthers, Manly.
They've also got the Storm and Parramatta.
It's a shocking run, isn't it? So if they're to drop this game, it would take a superhuman effort. It might anyway. Little for Marshall. He wanted to hit the accelerator there, but I don't think the engine was so keen. Here's Eisenhuth. 12 metres out from Canterbury's line. Tackle made by Katoa. Aloiai. Textbook tackle by Tolman. Luke Brooks. Adam Dewey.
They're very
off Jackson. They've got some room here. Dewey tries to go through a gap. He should have offloaded to Marshall. He's a metre out from the line. Little kick towards the end goal by Little. Ball's on the ground. Katoa's picked it up. Play on. All good.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. If Adam Dewey had seen Benji Marshall coming flying on the far side, Matt right to left, Benji goes under the post untouched. If the ball had been delivered well enough. Montoya out of dummy half.
Now Lafayette.
His own teammates forced him back in. They were all up so flat he couldn't get the ball. Marshall will end up being the one in space, would have been under the post.
Last tackle. The kick will come here by Jack Cogger from his own 40-metre line. Couple of bounces, and Adam Dewey was met strongly there by Jackson on kick chase. Oh, Talau, monster. That's Napa. It's all clear, that one. There was no dirty stuff in that, and he's conceded a set restart despite the big tackle. If you're joining us late, what I'm alluding to is Dylan Napa's on report for leading with the head in tackles. McIntyre could play the ball. Little, Benji, out the back now to Brooks. Here's Moses Mbai. The defence slid. Mbai tried to sell a dummy. He's being pushed towards the sideline. Now Brooks dummies himself to beat Jackson. It couldn't beat Carrot Holland. Little for Moses Mbai. Running to space there. Luciano Leilua's got to come back towards the centre of the park. He rolled away from Napa. Still going, Luciano Leilua. That's a great run in the circumstances. He turned nothing into something. Brooks now can't get it in behind. That was well done. Good scrapping there by Cogger.
Well, once again, they just got to get a little bit deeper. They're not giving anyone options. Luciano Leilua, heavy contact from Brooks on Smith. Now, Luciano comes shooting back through the middle of the field, and there was no support. No one's pushing up. No one's finding space.
Matt Dury, good run from the young man. Off down the left to forward, through their hands, finds Montoya. Organa's got him in a good tackle, and he's over, he's gone.
You saw the reaction of the crowd. Nothing better when your home team throws the enemy over the line, right in front of you. Montoya gets the full brunt of the right side defence. There's Garner. Benji Marshall. There's the last one to come in there. Nofaluma, of course. That's a great sight to a fan sitting front row.
Fellas, we're on the clock. Hurry up, let's go. Second, come on, quick, we're on it. Stop the clock. Out.
Here's David Nofaluma. His first half try has sent his season tally up to 12. unsung star, isn't he, David Nofaluma? There's Garner with a good run.
They made some changes, the Tigers. They got Dewey out in left centre. And here's Mbai coming into the back line now, playing at fullback. Been very busy, Dewey, early part of the game. 31 runs, 124 metres.
We've got numbers here. Out to Garner. There's plenty of space for the Tigers. Important tackle made by Foran and Lafai to help. That's the 20-metre line. Here's Marshall. Long ball to Brooks. He plays short to Leilua. They saw him coming. Oh, he offloads. Has it gone back? Oh, gee, that was a line ball call that went with the Tigers. It's the last tackle now. Brooks station left, but they go right to Benji. He gives it to Joey Leilua on an angle. He kicks to the in goal. He chases himself. Meany. Oh, he was very patient, but he just ran out of patience, actually, and had to put a hand on the ball over the line. And, oh, surprise, surprise. Joey's having words.
Yeah, Joey stopped the ball coming back. That's normally a sin-binnable offence as well. Mooney watches the ball go over the dead ball line. When they go to pick the ball up, Joey Leilua gets hold of the ball and just tries to stifle the Dogs and save some time. That should have been a sin bin. Once again, the Tigers inside the opposition 20 are so flat. There's nothing else to do with the ball. Their only option is to kick.
Jeremy Marshall-King out there for Tony Katoa.
Jackson. And here's Cogger. Fires it out to Foran and in for Meany. He missed the first tackle and Meany can come back towards the middle. On play 5, they're 21 out. Marshall-King. Kieran Foran over to Lafai. This is where they've tried to attack most of the afternoon, but the Tigers have got them covered here. I know Montoya got a pass back away. Second kick to the in goal. Played out by Tommy Talau, and he runs up to the 10-metre line. Plays it fast too. Here's Dewey.
What was Tommy doing back there? What position's Tommy playing at the moment?
I don't know. There was a distinct lack of effort in the chase after Dewey got a good kick in. Maybe one or two considered themselves offside, but he did a great job to get the ball in goal, and Aidan Tolman was the only chaser.
This is Alex Seyfarth. Came into the Tigers lineup yesterday with Thomas McKaylee ruled out. Marshall finds the ground with a long kick, bounces up generously. And Remus Smith has tackled the ground on his own 20-metre line. Elijah Taylor in 21 out there as well. No Josh Reynolds yet. Here's Jackson. Wrapped up by McIntyre. He's off for Hickey Ogden. This is more what he's used to, coming off the bench and giving impact, and that's precisely what he did with that run. This is a good kick towards the corner. Dewey gets across, but Foran's down there.
Whatever happened to Sam Cassiano? I know he went down to Melbourne. Did he play any more football after Melbourne?
You called me right on the spot there, Brad. He might have gone to England, didn't he? Well, here's a mistake. Now, this is a crucial error by the Tigers. Will they think about challenging?
Well, I don't think they will, because Nofaluma said it touches the boot of the opposition player, and generally that's accidental. Well, hang on, they are walking across. No.
Well, Kieran Foran's right knee hits the ball. There's a bit of a lack of respect from Nofaluma and ball control. Watch Foran's right knee right there. He is awfully close body-wise, and that's a ploy the defenders use. That's just careless by David.
As soon as I said there's no Josh Reynolds, he runs out on the field. So plays his first game in 5 or so weeks. Good tackle. Oh, Cogger. Have to send the sand bucket out to repair the divot there.
Well, he deserved it. He dawdled. He deserved everything he got then.
The Bulldogs can draw square here. Marshall-King. Nowhere to go out of dummy half. Seyfarth and Taylor, the fresh legs with the tackle there. Suaso Sue's into the game now too for Canterbury. That's him with it. He's 5 out with Garner making the tackle. Off for Hickey Ogden. Oh, good tackle around the legs. McIntyre responsible for it. All the Tigers are offside here. Cogger put a kick through it, bounced off Reynolds' leg, and the Bulldogs have got it back.
6 to go. Knock on Tigers.
Knock on Tigers. Plenty of pressure here from Canterbury.
I thought it was okay, mate. Start the clock.
Well, Dewey found himself up in the line. Reynolds put his foot out. There's a bit of a pinball machine. Is that Laffey chasing through it? Dewey knocks it on. And Cogger can't get hold of it. Correct call.
We need another one. Let's go, fellas. He's all right. You can feed it out him, fellas. You're the trainer.
Now we've got a Bulldog out of action. It's Tim Laffey. Marshall King for Cogger. Here's Holland back on the inside. 8 metres out. They've scored the last 2 here, Canterbury. Can they make it 3 on the hop? Here's off a Hickey Ogden. McIntyre made the tackle. Out to Foran, or Suaso Sue. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be for him or whether the pass was errant, but either way, it hasn't worked for Canterbury, and the Tigers have got the footing.
Well, Kieran's pass went straight into the back of Benji Marshall.
Up now, let's go. Oh.
He was looking for Suaso Sue, but he was already into the defence line. Poor pass by Kieran Foran. Once again, they're just not deep enough. Brook pushed through the line too early, so if he got the ball, it would have been a forward pass. And Luciano and Moses were in front of the ball as well. 40-20, 40-20.
Oh, Montoya with a venomous run. Garner making the tackle, along with Alex Seyfarth. Now Laffey, who has 49 NRL tries to his name. Looking to raise the battle. Reynolds, good tackle. Throws Meany into the ground.
That's the old Cumberland throw on the old Cumberland turf.
Yeah.
Where in relation was the old ground, Pete?
Here.
Right here, directly here.
Yep.
Oh, Marshall King on the last. They were expecting him to kick. He's going to sprint away. Oh, the ball to Tolman. And
He's been held up.
He's been held up. No, they're coming in to sell it. Marshall King would have scored himself.
He was over the line. He passed at the line.
On tackle 6.
Well, there's despair on the sideline. There's joy in the middle.
Confirm that the ball is retained.
He obviously
and it
owes
does make
Tolman
the
something.
line. Thanks, mate.
He obviously
yes, please,
owes Tolman something. There was absolutely no need to pass the ball. There he is. He's standing over the line. Jeremy Marshall King.
And brother Benji comes in to save the day, along with Garner.
Oh, this would have been tragic if he doesn't get this down. He ends up swiveling around
He's
for
got,
sure.
he's got the ball. He's got the ball.
Does he drop that?
No, he scores it. He
drop
scores
that?
it. He scores.
I think he nearly drops it.
Well, you can't. You either do drop it or you don't. You don't nearly.
We'll see that. Right.
It's
there.
I don't think.
Right there.
his fingers are on it. It's got it pressed against his chest.
Aidan Tolman, the ball shifts, but then he pins the ball to the chest.
There you go. Try time.
What about that explanation? Where's he grabbed that from?
He's got it exactly right. Come on, it's Aidan Tolman. He doesn't get many. And we're about to be locked up.
Well, he's just squared up with Jeremy Marshall King as well. So
Jeremy,
that bet's been levelled.
Jeremy would have been filthy if brother Benji had have stopped them. Great play on the Isuzu MUX replay. Last tackle, Jeremy caught them napping. And Aidan Tolman, he covers some metres in a game, does Aidan.
Now, Josh Reynolds, his enthusiasm got the better of him there. He shot off to the left. Marshall King threw the dummy. He should have scored, and then Tolman just swiveled around in time and scored the try and to level it up.
Well, hopefully I can put the mock on the kick. No, we haven't. It's levelled up.
That's not a try.
It's a try.
Time your run.
22 all. The Bulldogs have scored the last 3. Now that's a controversial call. Because
No, you're just trying to make it into one.
Well, let me just explain. The rule states that if you lose... Now, the bunker, by its own admission there, has said that Canterbury and Aidan Tolman has lost control of the ball. Now, if you lose control of it, you can re-grip the ball and regain control. Now, wedging the ball between your forearm and your chest is not regaining control of the ball.
Yeah, I reckon they've got a big bag of minties up there, and he's got that explanation off one of the minty wrappers.
Well, I'll dispute that he lost control of the football.
But the bunker said he lost it.
No, they said it moved.
Oh.
Look at the paper tomorrow. Last tackle, 22 all. 22 to go.
Oh, we'll be looking.
Jack Cogger.
A kick now for Dewey, who catches it on the 10. And Canterbury are coming to life. Well, they're well and truly alive now. They were just about gone in the first half.
I've got to say that right side defence of the Tigers is a replay of the try. Tolman loses it there, and he
doesn't regain possession. I'll be interested in what the explanation is after the game, but I think by the rule book, the Tigers might have caught the dud call there. Packer has given a pass away which has been lost by the Tigers, and suddenly Canterbury and the Tigers have traded positions here. It was the Bulldogs making those mistakes earlier. Now the Tigers are showing signs of the pressure. Suaso Sue. Tackled on the 20. Away to Cogger. Now the back for Jackson. Enby tries to cling on.
Well, they've got to get out to the other side. That's where they're doing all the damage. Out to the left. Get out to Kieran.
He played short there. Marshall King, he found Ogden. That was an important tackle. Seyfarth made it. 4 in at speed. Out to Laffey. The pass was just a bit behind him. Tackle 5. Foreign stabs it up for Holland to make a leap at it. He touched it. That went forward, and Luciano Leilua is there for the Tigers.
Advantage, boys.
We watched Melbourne do this the other night against the Roosters, where they just attacked down at Lachlan Lamb down their left-hand side, and then they just kicked right to Vunivalu. Now they've got Remus Smith out here, the Bulldogs, who's one of the best catchers in the game. They're just not quite getting their tactics right.
Yeah, he's the target, isn't he?
Don't miss a big episode of 100% Footy tomorrow night. Gus and Gal head-to-head on all the biggest issues in the game. 100% Footy, 10:50 on 9 tomorrow evening. It's been another big week in footy. Most of them are these days. Lots to discuss on the show. Now Reynolds. Good run. It's a real Josh Reynolds run, that one. Gets them on the front foot and allows Adam Dewey to step up and send a spiral bomber. How do you like that one, Nick Meaney? Oh, he lets it bounce. Oh, it sits up in the ink. And Brooks was after it. But the ball's beaten them.
He hit that well, Dewey.
Oh, yeah.
You see him go up and they just start changing direction as they start coming backwards. And Mooney just wasn't in the position to catch that. Here it comes. Starts twisting, turns the other way. Mooney missed it by 2 or 3 metres.
Gal, 20 minutes to go. What are you sensing down there?
Yeah, look, it's even at the moment. I don't know who's on top at the moment. I think the Dogs definitely started the second half better.
Well, it's 22 all. Of course it's even.
Oh, I know that, but I mean, it's even out on the field too. They're going set for set. There's not a lot of errors, not a lot of penalties. So I'm going to stick with the Dogs. I think the Dogs can come over the top of you, boys.
He set you up there, Cal. Don't buy into his rubbish. Here goes Amini up from the back. Excellent tackle. They were struggling to make yards at all in the first half, Canterbury. Now they're rolling up the park. Cogger challenging Tommy Talau with the high kick. Marina Smith making a tackle. Moses Mbai. Tackled by Suaso Su. Now Dewey. It's all little men so far on this set for the West Tigers. And Dewey's been stung.
Tackle 3.
Oh, gets wrenched. Yeah, his body's going 3 different ways there at once. Great news concerning Luke Keary, that double break in the rib. He'll be back sooner than maybe what was expected.
Scary there on Thursday night at the cricket ground.
It was just O'Neill that there was talk of a possible spleen injury. Was it Justin O'Neill in Melbourne when he played against Canberra?
Well, that was nearly an absolute tragedy, Justin O'Neill.
I think he just about had 12 months out of the game. I remember seeing him during that, and that isn't a good injury to get, let me tell you, if you've got a spleen injury.
Well, poor kick there, but an excellent chase from the Tigers. And the Dogs are taking a long time to get back. Body language is good from the Tigers at the moment. Bulldogs have got to match it or exceed it.
He's all good.
That helps.
He ran straight over the top of Elijah Taylor. Played it to Marshall King. Forward, Meany back on the inside. Taylor with a good tackle. There's experience for you. He saw that coming a while away. Cogger. Another kick for Tommy Talau. Jackson's down there leading the chase. And helped out by Suaso Su. Mbai and Ofaluma, who's just about around them. Montoya stopped him. Oh, he wasn't spirit marker. That's a bad penalty. They're under real pressure there, the West Tigers.
Get excited. You can see they haven't got a dummy half. You can just get excited. Yeah. It's very hard not to dive. Look, he knows he's offside. He knows it. He couldn't help it.
Telling me to stop a trainer or not?
Is that Kieran Foran?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure it was his right ankle earlier.
Yeah. I hope this isn't anything serious. Oh, okay.
And he's not even involved in the tackle when he rolls that left ankle. Oh.
He'd have to be one of the most unlucky footballers of the last 30 years with injuries.
Looked like a dance move. I've tried that on a dance floor.
What sort of a dance is he doing? Well, he's coming off here. Well, this is the pivotal moment in the match.
That might be a very telling moment, Matt. Katoa comes out now, so Marshall King will go into the halves.
Along with that injury, syndesmosis is more a month to 6 weeks. It doesn't look like that. Normally, that's just where you do some outside ligaments. So hopefully he's not out for too long.
Well, I guess the problem for Canterbury is looks like he's going to be out for the rest of this game. And he's been in everything, Kieran. Just when he starts stringing some fitness and form together, something comes and sets him back again. It's been the pattern of his last few seasons. Here's Packer now. The Tigers hoping to cash in on that. 11 metres out from their line. Reynolds for Marshall. Plenty of bodies in motion here. Garner.
I'm sure they knew what they were quite trying to achieve there.
Here's Brooks. He kicks towards Leilua. Up they go. Ball tapped back to the Tigers. There's no Tigers in front of the ball now, and Canterbury get it back easily.
Well, normally you got a halfback sweeping around the back, but it was Russell Packer. Big Russ saw the footy on the ground and he thought, well, his body couldn't quite get down there quick enough.
Cogger under pressure. Reynolds with a spirited chase out of marker. He did want to get the kick away though.
Yeah, good chase by Josh Reynolds. They start the set of 6 on their own 30. They just get back behind the ball here. There's plenty of space everywhere.
Now Nofaluma with it. Macca's Thursday night footy. The Eels hoping to get back on track as handball nearly cuts them here. They've got their work cut out against the Storm. That's a cracker in Macca's Thursday night footy. Make sure you join us from 7:30.
Starting to win the battle now, the
Reynolds,
Tigers.
he's been a big part of it, Pete. A run and a quick play the ball, which allows Marshall to find Brooks, and then Mbai, and out now for Dewey. It's the last tackle. Somebody tell them. Brooks puts a chip over the top. It lands in the in goal. Benji!
No!
Has he gone over the dead ball line?
No!
He stayed in.
I'm not sure. He's not sure.
Thanks, mate.
I don't know.
We're not sure.
Chids, I've got a touch by Bulldogs tackle 1. I've got no try.
Yeah.
Confirm it's not grounded in.
Benji
Thanks,
Shaw.
mate.
Lovely little kick.
That's a look of hope, isn't it?
Tigers kick chase are onside.
Luke Brooks, a little dink over the top. Cogger doesn't
Clean
get
run
the
of the ball,
bounce,
knocked
but
back
gets a touch.
by Bulldogs.
Benji, he would have scored if he'd have got it then, but
I think as Cogger hits the ball, Benji touches it as well.
might be the knock on there.
I think it touches his left fingers.
Well, hang on. If he's the last man to touch it and then he catches it.
Well, he definitely touches it. That's a knock
Benji
on by
Marshall knocks the ball on
Yeah.
in the in goal.
Surely they give us a shot and
We
see
had
if he
a
gets
Just,
it down.
yeah, show us.
Don't do
Don't
that.
stop. Good going.
Roll through.
Don't. Yeah, that's
you.
He's
it.
on the dead ball line.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, double no try.
Yeah,
No
no
decision.
Actually, I think he touches the line as well.
Yeah.
He was sure.
So the infringement is against the Tigers for knock on.
Knock on, 20 metres, fellas.
He did get it down.
His foot was on the dead ball line.
He still got it down,
His
mate.
foot was in the leaf.
I
Big
know,
throw.
mate. Glass is half full, please.
Here's Josh Jackson. Oh, they monstered him.
He just say glass half full after Aiden Tolman. Oh, fickle fiddler.
This is where they need to go. Now go again.
Suaso Sue.
If Cogger had looked up then, he had Russell Packer in front of him and 20 metres.
Nakatoa can't beat Benji. He gives it back to Suaso Sue.
Yeah, they're winning the field battle. The Tigers, they're getting the ball back in decent position at the end of these kicks.
Knocked back here by Remus Smith. Still alive. Katoa. He's gone through. If he gets it out there, they'll score. Laffey coming. Leilua kicks it over the dead ball line.
Well, they didn't get it back easily there, the Tigers.
Well, they got the members bounce again, the Tigers.
Line drop out.
When they get the ball back, Katoa, he finds the kick. And there's 3 people there, 2 white jerseys and a black, and the ball bounces right to the foot of the black jersey.
Time you're on, Roger, Russell.
Saves the day.
Marshall King. Tolman. Garner and Packer the defenders. An interesting sidelight as well. If Canterbury win this, the Broncos are last on the ladder. How do you think that's going to go down? And they're every chance to do it as Katoa went for a run and Reynolds. His energy, and it almost sounds like a cliche now, but you can see the Tigers lift their energy when he comes out on the park. Off for Hickey Ogden. Jack Cogger. Matt Dury. Offload. Back for Meaney now. He's looking for something. He finds Packer, who was a bit slow in getting across, but Leilua was there to help make the tackle. Katoa. Away to Marshall King. Dummies. Beat Packer. Got the ball. Oh, yeah! The Bulldogs. Kerrod Holland has put them ahead.
Blue Eyes takes them to the lead. It looked like nothing on. He ran out of troops, ran out of space. As they come out to the right-hand side, there's a dummy. There's just no one backing up from the inside from a Tigers point of view. The Isuzu MUX replay.
Hasn't he had an impact? Jeremy Marshall King sets up Tolman. Now he sets up Holland. Maybe sets up a win.
Yeah, once again, we pointed out some poor defence and lazy defence in the first half for Mooney's try. And once again, there was no defence coming across from the Tigers' point of view again. Holland was waiting there on his own. You're 5 metres out from the try line. Kieran Foran.
Well, he's trying to get back anyway.
Well, you go back to the result from the kick, where they were able to get the ball back through the line dropout. Almost scored on the far side, but Leilua saved the day, and Holland now looking to add to their lead, and that would be the 22 unanswered points.
Time your run. Stay behind, fellas. Time it.
Short kick-off time for the Tigers, and it bounces back for Canterbury. Is this 24 unanswered points?
Well, that was
extraordinary.
How does the ball bounce off a kick-off? On the 10-metre line, on the 40-metre line, sorry, and they don't come up with the ball. Have a look at this. So Empire and that go past the ball. Brooks goes, everyone goes past the ball. No one's looking at the ball.
Matt Dury in his first NRL game could be on the verge of a really gutsy victory for Canterbury here.
Well, they look for the field goal possibly.
Nick Meaney's behind. Here's Cogger. He's deep enough.
No, he's pushed it
He's
right.
pushed it right. Well, that's an insight into what they're thinking, though. That if they can get another point, they'll tackle their way to victory.
It's also a two-edged sword, but isn't it? You give away 20 metres and an extra tackle.
And they had Mooney to the left to play the ball. It's a tough place to kick a field goal from the right-hand side with people coming from your inside. Nick Mooney was on the left-hand side and would have been straight in line with the black dot.
Now, if the Tigers don't get out of this, they won't have a painter on standby in the Tigers sheds, because Michael Maguire will dead set peel the paint off the walls with what he's got to say to his team. Hard to believe they're in this position.
Isn't it happy week?
Oh, it won't be happy week this afternoon. Happy week's over, Brad. Done. It'll be cranky week. Leilua, good offload.
Yeah, don't rule out a twist in the tail yet.
There's still time for this potent attacking Tigers outfit, but Canterbury are full of confidence now. Although a shot for numbers. Leilua throws the dummy, goes himself, scores the try. Look out.
There's the twist.
Whose tail? The dog's tail or the Tigers' tail? I wasn't sure.
The tail is the kick coming up now.
Which animal, which tail was twisted, Pete?
It was the Tiger. And they reacted on the Isuzu MUX replay. Slip in defence over there from Jack Cogger made it a little bit easier, and Leilua took it all on himself. You don't stop him from that far out. Paul Gallen.
Yeah, hasn't there been some momentum shifts in this one? Changed multiple times. Jack Cogger slipped over there in defence, which gave Leilua an opening. He did the rest himself, the big fella. Boys, don't be surprised if Kieran Foran comes back out. He is jogging along the sideline here. There's only 6 minutes to go, so he'll need to get back out there soon, but he doesn't look too bad at the moment.
What about the goal kick, gentlemen? The conversion. He's hit him all right today, Moses.
He's on the right side for a lefty. But you got that extra pressure with this one. Mbai has got it! 28 each. Friday night, the Broncos and the Dragons face off as Anthony Seibold returns, and the Red V start a new era without Paul McGregor. Dean Young in charge. All the action live here at 7:30 on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Now Kieran Foran is about to come back.
Yeah, Dylan Narber's just taken the field as well. That's Katoa comes off for Foran.
Stoney. Time your run.
And the Tigers still have 2 interchanges left with only 6 minutes to go.
All right. The Tigers with the first opportunity to get themselves into good field position. We're in field goal territory now. 28 all. There's Packer. He'll power his way out to just short of the 40-metre line here. Here's Jacob Little, away to Elijah Taylor. And now Little again. Couldn't catch the markers out. And Brooks. Leilua's after it. There's pressure. Meany does well.
Well, 3 Tigers down there, but no one could time it properly to compete for the ball.
Oh, he's staying down here, Mick Meany. Josh Jackson's appealing for some high contact. Time off.
I thought there was an opportunity, Freddie, for that kick to be deeper. Looking to land it 10 metres out instead of 20. And that would have given them the momentum in the chase.
I think he kicked it for the boys to compete for the ball. Now, there's 3 Tiger jerseys there, but no one wanted to concentrate enough to actually compete for the ball properly. Here we go. Plenty of opportunity there to focus and challenge for the ball, but they choose to wait for Mooney to get the ball, and we nearly drew a penalty.
Oh,
That was just weird.
searching defence. Now Remus Smith. That's tackle 3. Tolman out to Kieran Foran.
Well, they're not going to get within range of a field goal. This late in the count, you wouldn't think. That's Meany now. Last tackle, so they'll need to kick for position here.
And Foran with a floater. It's well positioned. Dewey under pressure. Oh,
Great
good
take.
And here we go. Adam Dewey. He bumped off 2 of them, and Foran, who put the kick through, made the tackle.
Well, they will be in position, the Tigers. Leilua through the middle, over halfway, second tackle.
We wanted an offload.
Support.
A little bit of a brainwave. Don't pass it. They're going to be in prime territory. Centre of the 30-metre line now. Played by Little. He's Nofaluma.
Benji looks confident.
He knows what's on here, Nofaluma. Now Little. Oh, he wanted a penalty there. He's not going to get it. Last tackle. Luke Brooks to Benji under pressure. He hasn't hit it well.
Pushed it as well.
Out there.
And been hurt.
Last 5 minutes.
Well, they're claiming that he's been illegally hit here. And that's why Benji stayed down after the unsuccessful.
Well, it is Josh Jackson. I can imagine him putting his body on the line. Josh Jackson comes from the inside and goes for the ball. Benji pushes it right. There's no foul play in that.
There's no attacking the legs there. He's trying to charge the ball now.
He cops a boot for his problems, Josh Jackson. Although they were in position to play earlier, and then I think it was Little ended up getting caught from dummy half, which brought Brooks
Yeah.
to feed the ball to Marshall. I'm sure when they practice how to train and it didn't look like that.
And Suaso Sue.
I'm sensing extra time.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Well, Canterbury just want to make sure they don't make a mistake down this end of the ground.
I think the Dogs need to attack. This is, every time they go away from that left-hand side with Kieran, I just think they're thinking wrong.
Cogger for Jackson.
They're opening up the field.
Well, a couple more powerful runs here, and they might be close enough for a shot. Here's Tolman up to the 30.
That's the
It's
last.
tackle 5 now, so we're 1 tackle behind our count. Cogger, no, he's left that out there as well. 7 tackle set Tigers, less than 3 to go.
Well, not a bad spot there. There's only 35 out. And he had no real pressure. LAI came late. It's a bit of a disappointing miss. He had a kick from a similar angle only a set ago. Now it's the Tigers' serve.
Now Eisenhuth. 2.5 left. Tigers not at the halfway yet.
Well, after that last knock that Benji received with the kick, I'm wondering if they'll look at an option with Brooks.
Well, that 7 tackle set is going to be pivotal here because this will be play 4. And they're 33 out, centre of the field. 2 more towards the post, and they can pull the pin on one.
Luke Brooks here, left post.
Adam Dewey straight behind as well. There's 2 options.
Here he is.
Brooks.
Plenty of time. That nails it. One. That was never going to miss off the boot. That was a better setup, and Brooks took the moment and nailed the 1-pointer.
There's another twist to the tail, Pete.
Well, we're going to have a short restart here in a moment too to see if they can get the football back. But Luke Brooks, yeah, he got it perfectly.
That was much better formation. You had multiple players in position to kick the ball. You had plan Bs in case plan A didn't work.
Well, they're trying to get the ball here to Remus Smith from the restart. It's the strange side to be kicking it. No, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
Oh, it's good.
Get up, Remus. Get up.
Well, Remus Smith got bent over badly there.
Time out.
But the whole thing was awkward. I'm not sure there's anything wrong with anything that happens there. He cops a knock on his head early, I think. Once again, no one's going for the ball. Everyone's just looking at it.
Well, I think the Tigers were scared to catch it inside the 10 because that way they give away the penalty. And the ball bounced beautifully for Remus Smith, who I'm sure they were trying to get the catch on the full. Never expecting that they'd get it on the bounce. Now, can the Bulldogs, can they set this up properly for Cogger or Foran or King, Marshall King,
No,
or Holland.
I'm thinking Meaney. When I watched before, Meaney was looking keen.
Well, they're going to have a great chance here. They could not ask for a better chance with 90 seconds to go.
We've got a full set of 6. Going for a try would be a good way to start. There we go.
And Meaney now. Nick Meaney nearly through.
Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it.
come
Oh, no, he's lost it.
Oh, can you believe that?
Challenge it if you want.
Well, they got a challenge.
Got a
They may
challenge.
as well have a throw at the stumps.
Well, if they challenge this and get this right, they'll have a goal kick with 1:09 to go to win the game.
Challenge by Bulldogs. They're disputing the on-field decision and knock on, mate.
You've got to think there'd be Tigers' hands all over this. It's just a matter of, here comes Garner. He ends up with the ball. Oh, no, it's just a...
Well, it's a
Garner
knock
is
on.
making a tackling
Yeah,
action.
no,
No
knock
intent
on.
to strip
Knock
the
on.
ball, and it is lost in the tackle.
Oh.
Challenge unsuccessful.
All
Did he
right,
say no attempt to strip the ball? He tried to strip it 4 times.
now the Bulldogs, they need to wait for the ball to go in the scrum and put a big push on, which you are allowed
Where's
to do.
Ogden? We need Ogden on. Get the big man back out there for the push.
Seconds
Luke
locked,
Garner
stay
scores
down.
2 tries. And he's there.
They didn't push. I think the ball came out before
Well,
they
they may as well have. How else are they going to get the footy back?
Well, the Tigers might just get out of jail here. I'm not going to call it with 50 seconds left. This has been such a weird and wonderful event. There's Aloye. He's been super strong again. They haven't tackled him. Great run, Josh Aloye. Third tackle, 30 seconds remain. Adam Dewey. That's the most solid carry we've seen all season.
She was locked up, that one. She was in the vault.
And now Eisenhuth. If Benji can kick it out, they might just kill the game off here. He goes through the hands. They're going to try and score a try. Nokaluma. He's got the ball. They're saying hold it. He wants to pass it. Don't worry, David. You've got the win.
Hold it!
No challenge opportunities.
Full time. In a thriller, the Tigers led 22-4. They've won by a point, 29-28 over Canterbury.